Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. Today, I am going to be making a card using a technique that burst into popularity, about 3-4 years ago or so, and then kind of died off, but I think is ready to have a little comeback. If you're watching, please do say hello. Good day to Gladys from Michigan, and good morning, Jenny, here in Melbourne. Please say hello when you join me if you are watching live or on either of the replay platforms. I do like to see who's following along, and I do see all of them, even if it's on replay. Okay, so this is the floating frame technique, and what it needs is a lot of fairly small images. And what I'm going to be using is the Petal Park stamp set and coordinating builder punch. And I have done a lot of the stamping already, but I do want to show you how really quick and easy this is to use. I find it easiest to go ahead and cut strips of cardstock to use since we're going to be using the punch. For A4 card, this is just cut vertically at 7 centimeters. You get 3 strips out of each sheet since it's 21 centimeters wide. Anyone who's using letter cardstock can do similarly. So I'm starting with Memento Tuxedo Black to do the outline stamp. And I find it easier to do the outlines and then fill in the color. And you can do it tone on tone, so you could do your outlines in the color and then fill in with the same color or coordinating or color. To get some consistency through the images, I am using black on all of the outlines. And then the colors I am using are Daffodil Delight, and these just line right up. Oh yes, Jenny, you're in Brisbane right now. I forgot. It's nice and warm up there, I'm sure. It's quite chilly here today in Melbourne. I think our high is going to be 12, which is, okay, so for folks in the US, that's 52, which I know is not that cold, but it's chilly here in Melbourne. So this is Bubble Bath. Hello, Paula. Thanks for joining me. And Lorraine. I hope the IT works better for you too, Lorraine. It's so frustrating when it doesn't. Glenn is teaching an online class to students in Malaysia yesterday and today. Rural Malaysia, and he had a whole lot of trouble with the internet mostly at our end. He was teaching from home, so fortunately we live close to his office because he was able to say, okay, while you guys are working on that in your breakout rooms, I'm going to run into my campus office and he was able to be back with them right away. But I don't know, I wasn't having internet trouble yesterday, but he was in his home office. So, okay, so that one is Berry Burst. So the Bubble Bath is a brand new color, and Berry Burst is a returning color. Daffodil Delight has been around a long time, and Coastal Cabana has been around a while too. And I'm gonna do one of those. There we go. Now, I have those clean. I'll bring in the punch. And if I've gotten my angles right, there we go. They will just line up and punch. That little bit of leaf that gets cut off goes flying every time. That's okay. Oh, it's one of those where you have to just set your mouth just right. I'm trying to keep my head out of the camera, so I don't have as good a view as I might. Okay, and then I did a bunch of the leaves. And again, I did the outlines in the Memento Tuxedo Black, and then the color is Granny Apple Green. I'm gonna move that out of the way. And we're probably gonna get a lot of debris out of this one. But what I did was, you may be able to see, I punched out a whole row of the flowers, and then I just trimmed it down to use the rest of it for the leaves. That may be enough. We can come back and do more if we need them. Okay, let's get rid of all the rubbish. And so I have a quarter sheet of basic white and all of my punched images. So I'm just going to scatter some leaves. Usually I would put these in as fill, but it kind of helps me get an idea of what I'm doing. And then some big ones. And some medium ones. I'm just kind of trying to randomly do stuff. Always feels like you don't have enough of different colors, but we do. Just have to place them and keep going. Really, I just have to place them and keep going. Not quite sure why I think I need more of this, but apparently I do. So I don't want them touching. But they can be quite close together. Not quite sure what I'm doing here, but okay. I think I need a little more in somewhere. So what am I trying to do? I want to tighten it up a little bit. So maybe I do need another leaf or two. Oh my goodness. Am I going crazy? A little bit. Because I didn't cut quite enough, but that's okay. This is going to work. I want that one, yes. No. You're just watching me go crazy, aren't you? It's okay. Yes, we do reach a finite point here. It's very soon. Okay, I'm calling that good. So, what I'm gonna do now is take my favorite press and seal. Once I stop futzing. Okay, here's my piece of press and seal. I'm going to get a new piece of press and seal because that one's not quite big enough. Hang on. Okay, so for this, the press and seal is really, really sticky, kind of too sticky for this. So I am currently smushing it repeatedly against my jeans to pick up lint. And I'm also going, it's this weird thing where you want it to be sticky enough to hold stuff together when you go to pick it up. But we're going to actually be putting it through the cut and emboss machine, which is going to make it, it's going to put pressure on all those little sticky dots, which is going to make it too sticky. So I'm going to take my embossing buddy and I'm going to add some of that powder, which really kind of de-sticks it. So what we're doing here is we're hoping that it keeps it sticky enough to hold everything together, but de-sticks it enough that it doesn't really stick when it goes through the embossing machine. Does that make any sense? Hopefully. Okay. So I have my cut and emboss just off camera, and I am going to slide this cutting plate under there. And then I'm going to bring in a couple of different dies. These are the deckled rectangles. And I've got the biggest one. And then this one is 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth one, the fifth largest. I'm gonna get that kind of evenly in there. And I'm gonna move that over and cut it, and we'll see how we go. Okay, so take the dies off. And there we go. So this is, you do sacrifice your piece of press and seal, which is fine. It's just cling wrap. And as you can see, this is really sticky on there. So we're going to get rid of that. And then we're going to take these two pieces off. Okay, so that has given me this frame. and this centerpiece. I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to show you how it is to get the press and seal. Actually, no, the press and seal we want to stay on. But we want to separate these two layers. Remember what I said about the press and seal being not so sticky when you're just trying to pick everything up, but once you put it through, yeah. There we go. Okay, so there we go. And I had a few leaves where I had done the angle wrong, and so I flipped the sheet over. So now you have all of these punched out pieces set on the frame, and I've put the frame, I think, the same way there. I'm going to show you what you do next, which is you bring in, this is how we get the floating part. We bring in our Stampin' Dimensionals and we add them to our pieces. So I'm not going to sit here and do this for all of them. That's how you do it. And then once you have them all stuck, you're going to bring this back in and stick that on there. And what you wind up with is, voila, magic of television. Can you see? All of those pieces are stuck on and lifted up from that frame. And what you do the same thing with this piece. And you wind up with a rectangle with all of the shapes floating on it. So then you're going to make it up into a card. And I have just gone ahead and I cut a second piece from the largest deckled rectangle die, and I cut a sentiment from, these are the Wanted to Say dies, and I am loving these. Feel better soon, you're too kind, happy birthday, and celebrate. And they have 2 layers. They have this big bubble background layer, and then the finer script. And I did, on this one, I did the bubble background layer, I did it on with a foam adhesive sheet. So it's going to pop up to be the same height as all of those floating flowers. And I did adhesive sheet on the back of this, which makes it so much easier to put on. So I'm going to add some glue to this frame, and then add that right on top. And then glue on that piece. And I will say that some of these itty bitty pieces, like that and that, I cut from the edges of the dimensionals. I just cut little itty bitty strips and laid them on there, because otherwise the definition of the frame would be not as nice. And then this just has adhesive from the foam. I'm going to set that aside for a minute and show you what I'm doing with this one. So this one I cut sorry, I have the dies here to show you. This is the Radiating Stitches dies. These are an online exclusive. You cannot find them in the catalog. And I used the second largest one to make a mat for this. And then I used the Celebrate die out of, again, those Wanted to Say dies. But this one I just did flat. So this one, I've got adhesive sheet on the back of the black and on the back of the white. And we'll just go ahead and adhere this together. That is... And this deckled rectangle die does just fit right in this Radiating Stitches die, which is fantastic. Hey Renata, thanks for joining us today. Yeah, I like the drama of this. Now I just need to get the adhesive sheet started here. There we go. These are a little bit wiggly. It is possible to kind of pull them out of shape, but it's easy to pull them back into shape too. There we go. And now, set that one aside and bring this one back in because it's time for a lot of bling. This is one of the fun things. I've got some of these that I've colored for that I thought I was going to use on another project. So just ignore those. Because what I like to do is take these little rhinestones and add them in amongst the flowers. Set that one aside. And then this one, I was trying to decide. I like the glimmery, shimmery, the brightness of the rhinestones, but I was also wondering about the black dots. And I'm also wondering about, hang on here. What do you guys think? Plain rhinestones, rhinestones colored black, or black dots. Well, while you're thinking about that, I'm going to work on inserts. Any. Oh, thank you. That's helpful. So this is what I've got left over. I think I've got one more leaf here. They all look good. Okay, so I'm just going to pick one here in a minute. Okay, there's one more leaf. We will get those on there. Go away. And those. That didn't want to stay. Come here. Yeah, I don't even usually show you how I do my insides. There we go. Let's do something a little different on this one. Okay. One. And the other one. So, there they are. You get 2 for 1 out of the panel that you make. And you can put them on any card base that you want. A lot of times I do them on white, but this time I thought it'd be fun to pull out and make them pop. Hope you enjoyed that. I will be back same time, same place next week, and I hope you join me. If you are watching me live or within the same day, remember today, Wednesday, June 21st, is a free shipping day. So get in there and place your orders and stock up on your goodies. It's a great opportunity to stock up on basics like basic white cardstock, envelopes, adhesives, stuff that you know you're going to use up. And yeah, nancysniftynotes.com if you're shopping in Australia. If you need help finding a demonstrator in other markets, drop me a line, nancy@nancysniftynotes.com, and I will hook you up. But otherwise, I will see you back same time, same place next week. Thanks. Bye.